We are going to talk about obviously Addison Road and that, but we're also going to talk about homelessness, poverty. You and I were hanging out for probably an hour or so before we even started rolling. So I wanted to ask you so many questions.
You're saving it.
But I've been saving it.
Oh,
so let's just back up a little bit. I mean, Addison Road, you've had a good year, a good tour going on here now, and even Hope Now, a huge hit.
Gosh, yeah, it's been a great year. We were really lucky off of our first album just to have several radio singles that played for quite a while and gave us a good time of being able to tour with. We were out with Sanctus Real last year in the fall and the spring, so that was kind of fun. We finished the fall and they were like, "What are y'all doing in the spring?" And we were like, "Can we please go back out with you?" So we made a whole year of it, and now we're out with 10th Avenue North and Matt Maher, and just been very blessed to tour with really godly guys and their families, and have enough radio play that we had 2 full years to write this album that just came out this past summer, and so that's always nice to be able to have the time to really pour into the songs and the art and ask the Lord to clarify the message of the album. So that's us.
So I know that there are some personal stories that you have about connecting with someone who's homeless or poor or the broken. And we talked just a little bit about it. Those are the ones I wanted to ask more questions about when we were talking earlier, but the camera wasn't rolling.
Okay. Saved it.
Let's talk a little bit about that, because you've got some personal encounters.
Yes.
Tell me just a handful of those that you yourself have reached out into the world of somebody who's homeless.
Yeah. Well, my most recent guy that I've met and befriended and just fallen in love with, his name is Dexter. And I was driving out of Chick-fil-A in the suburbs of Dallas, not in downtown. I'm not in the urban ghetto, nothing. I'm in the suburbs. And there is this man sitting in a wheelchair in this Chick-fil-A parking lot, hunched over. He looked dead. And people are driving around him, honking in their cars, and he doesn't ever even pick up his head. And I thought he might actually not be alive. And so I just put the car in park, and I was scared to death. My heart's racing. But, I actually, the honest truth is I drove by him and didn't think anything of it. And then it was like God just said, "Jenny, he is a human being. People are whizzing by him in a parking lot. Are you not going to even stop to see if he's breathing, to see if he needs anything?" And I thought, well, Lord, this is not good timing. Because you clearly don't know that I'm headed to Target right now. And then I'm going to go to the bank. And then I was bringing Annie for a play date. And I don't have time for this, if it's a check, if it's all, whatever, I can do that. But you want me to stop and actually poke him and see if he's alive? And that's what I did. I stopped, and the Lord's like, yes, he's a human being. He's my child. Would you not stop if your child was in a wheelchair hunched over in a parking lot? Would you not stop? And it was so convicting. And so I poked him and woke him up, and turns out he's on dialysis. He's got a massive kidney failure. Family kicked him out when he told him that he's a homosexual, and he's been homeless and familyless and alone ever since then. And so when I'm not in town, I'm on the road. My friends look out for him for my church, and me and Ryan take him out to dinner whenever we can, and and it's I'll put him in the car if it's raining, bring him to the bus stop so he can get to his local mission, which is where he stays. And I just think God, he hurts with the broken, and he cries. It says that he's a father to the fatherless, and he comes alongside of us who are weak, and he says, I understand, and I love you, and I've come to put that back together.
And in the midst of all that, there is, for those who finally realize it, there is this hope. I mean, you sing about that. One of your biggest hits has been Hope Now. I mean, there's a connection point, I think, between brokenness and understanding that there is hope. Yeah. And, that song is all about hope now. I mean, that's the cool part. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about that song, how it kind of connects to this, what we've been talking about.
That song, I love it because it makes me laugh. We wrote it a long time ago in college, and back then we were in this phase of we went to a private Christian school where everything was sugar-coated, there were a bunch of rich people, and I grew up in the ghetto of Dallas. I'd never been around Land Rovers and Hummers, and girls at high school graduation presents were implants and nose jobs, and it was mind-boggling for me to see that kind of wealth, and just the sort of sugar-coated, watered-down gospel. I'd never been around that kind of wealth and luxury and stuff, and so I think the five of us just sort of rebelled, and we were like, we're gonna write music about the dirtiness of life, and we're gonna write music about being broken and what it looks like to not have money and to not have a perfect life, and so our songs kind of took this. We called them our diary songs. They took this sort of this jaunt away from where we were at, and we wanted to expose the broken side of life, the side where it hurt and it wasn't fun and it wasn't pretty, and so we started writing these songs. And exactly what you just said is what a manager in Nashville said. He said, your songs, they speak to the brokenness, but where's the hope? He's like, anybody can write a song about being broken. He was like, take any country song off the radio and it's about some lying, cheating, stealing, whatever. And he said, anybody can do that. And what sets us apart as Christians and as Christian artists is that we have a God who says, yeah, but in the midst of the brokenness, I am here. And I give life, and I give it abundantly, not just in heaven one day in this far-off place that we can't wrap our minds around, but here and now I have come to redeem your story, to give you hope. And, in this verse that my mom used to read to us as a kid, and she was always memorizing it and wanted us to make sure she was getting every word right. So we would hold the Bible open. She would start saying it while we were driving, and it just stuck in my heart because I heard my mom say it all the time. It's Isaiah 43, and it says, fear not, I'm the holy Lord your God, the Holy One of Israel, and I've called you by name, and I've redeemed you. When you walk through the waters, they will not sweep over you. When you go through the rivers, you will not drown. When you walk through the fires, you will not be burned. For I'm the Lord your God, and I created you, and I paid a ransom for you. And if anything is to give me hope, is that there is a God who says, I am the Holy One of Israel. I have called you by name, and you're mine. And so when you walk through the dirtiness of this world, you will not be burned up. You may end up on the streets, yeah. Your wife may leave you, yeah. You might lose a husband to cancer. It's going to hurt, but it won't break you. When you rest in my hands, and when you ultimately, at the end of the day, you fall in me, I hold you in the palm of my hands, and I am good, and I redeem the brokenness that you walk through, and that gives me hope. I think that could give anybody hope. That, yeah, it's going to be a hard walk sometimes. It's going to be a hard journey, but we're never alone. And there's this God who says, I redeem, I redeem, I redeem, I redeem.
If everything comes down to love, then just what am I afraid of? When I call out your name, something inside awakes in my soul. How quickly I forget I'm yours. I'm not my own. I've been carried by you all my life. Everything rides on hope now. Everything rides on faith somehow. But when the world has broken me down, sets me free. And everything rides on hope now.